Hey guys, it's Bao with JohnyTechReview. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. So after about a week of having the Mavic Pro, I want to do a first quick impression of it and also a 7-step guide to get started with your Mavic Pro once you have them. So after about a week of having this drone, I've had about 8 flights on it. Not too much time, so most of the flight was on the weekend. And yeah, I just want to give you guys a quick impression of it. But first, I kind of want to give you an idea how to get started with something like this, especially if you're new to DJI product. So the first thing you want to do, of course, is charge the battery. The batteries are pretty fast. These 4 batteries here took me roughly about 3 or 4 hours to charge together because they charge one at a time using the loaded base. While you're charging your battery, one of the most important things you can do is register your drone. So the Mavic, I think it's about £1.5 pounds or so, and with that you definitely need to register with the FAA. So to register for the drone, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is visit the registermyus.faa.gov, and I'll put a link in the description. You guys can check it out. But all you have to do is just visit the website, register it, and yeah, there's not much information there. Afterward, you can get the stickers, and what I do is I have a label maker, and I just put a label next to the battery compartment, and that works pretty well. But you know, when you do that, you're ready to go. So what I do is I put the battery in, I leave the plate off. Actually, that's the best way to do it. Take the plate off, and then just turn the drone on. I think my drone come with 2 the plate on and 2 of them off. So I would suggest to take them all off, especially since you have to do these different calibration right after that. But download the DJI Go app, and after you do that and you connect the drone and everything together with the phone or the tablet, it will ask you to go ahead and do some firmware update, because that's the first thing it's going to see. After you do the firmware update, for me that was a 20-minute process. Took quite a while, but after that it was finished. And then you know, if you don't have an account with the DJI, they will ask you to do a DJI Account Registration, and then after that you will register your drone with DJI. This way will activate a warranty and everything, and you have a 1-year warranty with this guy. So that kind of give you an idea. Of course, warranty doesn't cover crashing or anything like that, and that's the extra care package if you want to buy those things. But that's also an option when you buy the drone when you want to do that. After we finish those 3 processes so far, we are now moving into calibration. So the drone is now on, it's connected to your phone, and the next thing you have to do is you have to calibrate 3 different part of the drone. So when you turn it on, it tell you it's ready to fly, but do not trust it. What I would do is I calibrate the IMU. The IMU is also known as the inertial measuring unit. Basically, it's just a computer with a bunch of different sensors on it. This IMU is responsible for doing a lot of processing for your sensors, so like the accelerometer, the gyroscope, and the magnetometer. So when you're doing this IMU calibration, what you want to do is you want to put it on the ground. It'll tell you in the pictures. You have to put it flat first, then turn sideways, then the other way. And what you want to do is you want to leave that while it's running, and it tells you basically to not put near any metal objects. Ideally, you want to do this with no metal so that you don't get any interference, and it actually let you know these things. So that's kind of nice. That process took about, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes, and then after that you do the compass calibration. Compass calibration is a lot easier. It's just kind of like a drone dance. What you do with a compass calibration is that you basically just hold the drone a certain way, you spin it, and then you hold it upside down, you spin it the other way, and that's what you do with it. Usually you don't want to calibrate the compass all the time, but if you do change location greatly, let's say you move from one state to another or one location to another, maybe you should update your compass. It tells you that in the app, so you can kind of see the interference and all that stuff that you have. And then finally, the last thing to do is calibrate your gimbal. The gimbal is, of course, is responsible for keeping all the cameras in place, very stabilized. It should come with pre-calibrated, but just to be sure it's calibrated. You also will need to calibrate it if you decide to install a new filter, these kind of things. But you know, if you're just having the drone place on the ground, hit the calibration, it will move around the gimbal, do some funky stuff, and then it will be done in a few minutes. And after that, you're basically ready to go. You will go into a wizard setup the first time, and with the wizard, you will go through the process of picking, you know, geofencing. If you want to set up like beginner mode, where you can have, you know, how far you're limiting the drone, how fast you want it to fly, all this other stuff. Relatively simple, and DJI app is really good with this, and you know, no problem with it. Of course, this is not my first DJI drone, but I definitely, you know, went through the same process again, just really quick. it. The difference is the last time I used the DJI app was a few months ago, and since then they did some updates and the menu has changed a little bit for me, so I have to play around a little bit. So those are basically the 6 steps to get going. And finally, the final step of course is just take off. So you can do that using the controller on the app. You can tell it to automatically take off, or you can just push on the stick here and push sideways out and start the motor, and when the motor starts it will stay on the ground and you just push up on the stick and let go. Ideally, what I do usually on the first few flights, especially with no battery, is that I would hover for a little bit, about a few feet off the ground, and I just wait and check the battery level, make sure the battery is not crazy or anything like that. This drone actually has a camera at the bottom also, and when you fly up about 20-30 feet, it will take a picture of your home location where you take off. And later when it come home, it will use GPS to come home, and you know, it'll match up a picture and try to land exactly the same spot. So basically, when you take off, you know, get up to about 20-30 feet, just wait for a few seconds. It will take a pictures, and then, you know, it does automatically. You don't have to wait really, but I usually just sit there for like maybe like 20 seconds or so, and then just take off and check the battery level and stuff like that. So guys, that is basically the 7 steps to get going with your drone. If you're new to the drone, just be careful, know your law, and of course you do in the FAA registration. It will tell you, you know, not to fly over 400 feet, not to fly at night, not to fly on top of people on purpose. But yeah, other than that, I want to give a quick impression of this. So after about a week of using it, I was truly impressed with this drone. What makes this drone really special is the size of it. Of course, it's very portable, and what I like about that is that of course you can take it a lot of different places. And what's cool about the drone is, compared to the normal DJI, the body's are round, and it seems like these little angular designs are on purpose to deflect winds and that kind of stuff. So the drone itself is very stable compared to my Phantom 3 Professional. This fly was just as good. I don't know, I haven't flied in really high wind. The max wind I fly in was about 20 miles per hour, and it seemed to handle no problem at all. I also found that the footage is extremely smooth. The other thing to keep in mind is the camera now actually have focus control, so you have to do tap and focus. I think the recent DJI firmware, as soon as you start up, it will automatically focus in the center, but you can do focus by using one of the buttons, or you can set it. I think default it's set to this button in the back here, the custom button. And then make sure you're in focus before you start flying and filming. So the drone, when it's folded up, you notice the blade at the bottom here is actually sitting on flat on top of these, and it seems to be no problem at all so far. A little bit scratchy here and there, but no other issues. And then the leg at the bottom here seems to have some you know, scratches already, but this is where the drone will land when it's landing on the ground or when you sit on the ground. Beside that, I also like the fact that the gimbal guard and also the round a little camera dome here are really easy to install now compared to the previous version where you had to kind of figure around with it. It's actually pretty simple to install the gimbal guard inside. Lean your drone forward a little bit and stick the gimbal guard and push it straight down, and it will lock in place. Seems to be pretty simple. Another thing to keep in mind is that the drone actually have fan that is actually, you know, pulling the air through the front of the drone and exhaust out on the back here. So keep in mind, do not fly with this dome on. You know, it might seem to make sense to fly with it on, but remember to take that off, because you're actually gonna overheat the drone and it's not good. Of course, also don't forget to take the gimbal guard off. That's also very important. But other than that, the other thing I was kind of interested in is this controller here, just a little controller. So look how short this antenna is. The antenna is pretty short, and I was surprised on how good the reception is as compared to the Phantom 3 Professional. So the Phantom 3 Professional, after about a quarter of an hour or so, I usually get a drop in reception. 8D signal will drop in and out, but when this guy, you know, no problem at all, and it was very smooth. What I like about this controller and the Mavic also is that it seems to be very precise. I really like it in sport mode. Right here you can flip to sport mode. I just leave it in sport mode, and in sport mode you also still get obstacle avoidance. So when you try to fly straight into you, it will stop if it see you or see a tree or whatever. It works pretty well. It usually detected about 6 to 8 feet in front of it. And yeah, it'll beep also very loud. This controller has speakers in here, and it's really loud. For me, I usually fly the drone on the iPad mini, and now this is the first time I fly it on the phone here, the 7 Plus. And the screen's a little bit smaller, so I have to get used to it. So at first it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I was not used to this small controller. But after a few runs, I was very comfortable with it, and I'm really happy with it. And you can quickly fold this in and get going again with no time. That's the best thing about this drone. I think it basically is the main reason most of people are getting it, because of the size, because it's so portable. I've seen a lot of video online about how good it can handle the wind, so I want to test it out myself. So playing around the area with the normal 20-30 mile wind here seemed to be no problem. But yeah, pretty good so far. Hopefully in the full review I'll have more information, because I'll probably use it for a while before I do that. So that's basically it, guys. And if you guys have any question or any concern, anything you want me to talk about in the final review, just let me know in the comment box down below. I'll also put the link down there if you guys want to buy it. I think right now it's still in pre-order for a lot of people, but you can buy it from DJI, you can buy it from Amazon, etc., and it will be shipped soon, hopefully, so everyone can get these. But yeah, overall really impressed with it. Build quality is superb, and so far I have no issues with it. So guys, if you find this video useful, please give it a like, it would really help me, and stay tuned and subscribe for more future Mavic video. Thank you.